Welcome back to Close Up. Polls show Kamala Harris leading Donald Trump in New Hampshire, and Democrats are trying to stretch their potential advantage beyond the bounds of their own party. The Harris campaign tells News 9 that not only is it recording an increase in support for Harris among registered Republicans when volunteers are out there knocking doors, they're also claiming a 47% increase in registered Republicans coming out and volunteering with the statewide Democratic coordinated campaign compared to this same time in 2022. Now, these are the campaign's numbers and can be viewed with a measure of skepticism. For one, there's always the allure of the presidential race that simply draws more people out to begin with. But the fact that this is where the campaigns are should be noted. Democrats moving in on GOP turf, while Republicans have recently had to push back against reports the Trump campaign isn't really playing here in New Hampshire. That can give you a sense of where things stand in terms of the competition in the Granite State over organization and ground game. And that presidential matchup always has a big effect down ballot, and the number of voters who mark their ballots for Harris and then Kelly Ayotte in the governor's race could play a decisive role in the outcome of the contest for the corner office at the State House. A new poll from UNH shows that among those who voted for Joe Biden in 2020, 10%, double digits, are backing the Republican nominee for governor. Now, some of that can be explained by the small but significant chunk of so-called never Trump Republicans. But it's still an eye-opener if Craig could be missing out on so many voters who are willing to vote Democrat at the top of the ticket, especially when you consider there is zero daylight between Craig and Harris. That's a tight team. Contrast that with Ayotte and former President Donald Trump. In October 2016, just weeks before the election, she, of course, withdrew her endorsement from Trump over the Access Hollywood tape. That opened a major rift. And while 8 years have passed and Ayotte has endorsed Trump in this election, there's some uncomfortable history there. Even with all that turbulent water under the bridge, look at the Trump base in New Hampshire in the UNH poll. 92% who voted for Trump in 20 are aligned with Ayotte in 24. That difference in crossover appeal between Craig and Ayotte will be a margin to watch in subsequent polls. The strength of the Harris campaign could very well help elect Joe Craig governor, but if Ayotte can mitigate that advantage by taking a few Democratic points away on the gubernatorial ballot line, that could well be part of a winning formula for her on November 5th. That wraps up this edition of Close Up New Hampshire. Thanks for watching. Have a great Sunday.